Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's Sunday sermon, which is on the fifth Sunday in Ordinary Time. And today's Gospel is about the miracle of fish, the catch of fish, the miracle catch of fish. And Peter is meeting him for the first time. He says to Peter, the owner of the boat, let's go out and catch fish. He went ahead and they had a huge catch of fish. So much so that both the boats that they were in were filled to capacity, to almost the point of sinking. And Peter fell at the feet of Jesus, and he said, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man." Now if we look at this phrase, it's typical of Peter, of course. He was an impetuous man. He was a man who could say anything. And yet what he said was so much in praise of God, because he must have been seeing a divine element in Jesus, even though he's meeting him for the first time. And he's saying, "Depart from me, for I'm a sinful man." He's not really saying, and Jesus knew that. He's not really saying, "Go away, go away, go away, go away," even though he is saying that, but he doesn't mean that. "I'm a sinful man." He means that. Peter was actually saying, "I'm in the presence of the divine. This is a God act. We've seen a miracle, and I'm in the presence of the one who is somehow godly." Even though he had no clue, and it was his first time, this is in that gospel, the first time meeting Jesus. And he said, "Wash me of my sins, that I may be worthy of being in your presence." Peter felt like anyone would feel in old clothes if you are in the presence of people who are very well dressed and very sedate company. You would feel embarrassed because your clothes are not suiting the occasion and you stand out like a sore thumb, as we say. That's how Peter felt. But he was really pleading for divinity, to be holy, to be wholesome. And that was seen by Jesus, of course. He saw through his comment. And he said, "Don't worry, from now on you'll be catching men." This was him, Jesus, calling Peter to follow him. And his other companions, they become disciples as well. Why do I say they became disciples? Because it says they left everything. They left everything to follow this man. They left everything. Now imagine the big catch of fish. You would think that they would, God, we must do something with all this fish. It's mine, and there's money as well. It's a livelihood. No. But it's a ploy, I think, by St. Luke, who is getting across the point. They become disciples there and then. They answer the call. And what does being a disciple mean? Disciple means a change of heart, a change of life plan, leaving behind the old and taking up the new. And the new is to be a disciple, the godliness in our lives, the God element, and making that more serious, a more serious quest in our lives. So what's the message for us? Well, the message is that we too are disciples. We are called. Whether we are priests or nuns or brothers or married or unmarried or lay people, it doesn't matter. All of us are called to a life of holiness, basically, to be holy. And holy means there now, redirecting our lives in the direction of God. Because after all, when all is said and done, and when we're drawn our last breath, what will be really important is how we've lived our lives, and have we lived our lives in love of God. There's a lovely poem about Jesus writing a letter really, to a person saying, I was there yesterday morning when you got up and you had all this worry in your mind about the job and about your family life and about your wages and how to keep the mortgages right and all that. And you never asked me to help you. And then you went out into the rain. I was there in the rain. And you never asked me. You didn't see me, you didn't even think of me. But I was there waiting for you to say, Jesus, help me. And so on, right through the day. I was there in that argument you had with your fellow workers, or with your wife, or with your husband, or with your children. I was there, and you never asked me to help you to solve that problem. You get what I'm saying? So that's what discipleship means. But Jesus is God. Jesus is the now, is the present moment that we live in. That's who Jesus is, I believe now. A new way of saying it maybe, but Jesus is in the present moment. We find him right now. I'm listening to the birds. Can you hear them? It's morning time here, as you may know by the slant of the sun and the squint of my eyes. The sun is just beaming straight in here. And here in this beautiful moment, we find God in the peace, in love, in freedom from worry and being caught up with the worries of life. And we can say, okay, I'll leave it all there for the moment. And I'm not alone. Jesus is with me. This is how we live our lives. Let's pray that we become his disciples, that we change our value system and let it be directed by the God element in our lives. And not just an element of God, fully there in our morning prayer, our every step that we take. Look at St. Patrick, Christ behind me, Christ before me, Christ above me, Christ in everybody that I meet. And this was back in the 5th century. And what an incredible, profound prayer. And also, this miracle is for everyone. And we as disciples are witnessing to other people, especially our nearest and dearest, our neighbours, our parishioners, by the way we live our lives, by the way we accept the everyday problems and difficulties and the struggles, and how we help one another. Yes, we are disciples, and we are with God who is powerful. That's what I'd like to leave you with now. All powerful, and can help us through all our difficulties. May God bless you. Have a lovely day and a beautiful week ahead.